is Raph. I am playing Grinner, a barbarian human, running from his past as an ex-soldier, now turned mercenary.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared. I'm playing the character of Luther. He's a Dampier. He is a fighter that specializes in firearms, a bit of an investigator, and I am the great uncle of Grinner.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm playing Tifla, the Goblin Ranger. She is a wonderful hunter and medical genius.
Hi, I'm Haz. I'm playing Theodore Ursa, the satyr druid, who's a kind of a charismatic druid who's unwillingly taken Tifla under his wing as she's followed him through the forest for the past few months.
Hi, my name is Josh. I am from the Roll Together RPG stream, and I will be playing Killian Maxwell, a half-elf warlock who has come to Barovia. He was with the party previously but has lost them and has joined up with the Tempest on their adventures.
G'day, I'm Tom. I'm playing Jonor, the Asimir wizard. He is on the pursuit of good and evil, finding out the best and worst in this world, and he's doing that with a little bit of naivety and optimism.
And I'm Owen, the dungeon master of our Curse of Strahd campaign. A warning, gentle viewer. Curse of Strahd is a horror-themed Dungeons & Dragons campaign, which means you may hear adult language or adult themes throughout this episode. Hello! Hello, and welcome back to the Lost Archives for our Curse of Strahd campaign. We are very excited to be jumping back into our horror campaign, especially because we missed our session last Monday, unfortunately. We had a few players sick and away. Luckily, though, the player that we like the least is away tonight. Haz can't make it to tonight's Sorry, Haz. I should be very, very Haz and I are very good friends, and I'm very much joking, just in case you were wondering. Unfortunately, Haz is away for the next 2 weeks. He is away in Germany. So if you happen to be in Deutschland and you bump into that curly-haired satyr, say hi, and tell them that
for our German audience.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, you laugh. There are actually a few people who listen with German subtitles on. So I know there must be some people. I'm assuming they're in Germany. Maybe they're in Austria. But thank you. Yeah, obviously, if you see Haz over in Germany, give him a little wave and a hello. He's over there for 2 weeks for.
And no context either. Just say hello, Haz.
Just say hello, Haz.
And walk away.
No, don't even call him Haz. Call him Theodore. Do the traditional Fey greeting. What do you reckon the traditional Fey greeting would be? Maybe throw glitter in his face.
Man, this is your world. You can just.
I'll just make it up.
What's the Fey? What is the Fey greeting?
Just say hello, Theodore, and then go with some pocket glitter, and then run away. If you do happen to bump into him. Unfortunately, he is away for work purposes, so it's not a fun trip. So if you can brighten up his day by doing that, I think he'd be very, very happy.
Everyone loves glitter in the eyes.
Exactly. I can tell you right now, there are no health impacts of small, sharp flakes of glitter that can cause problems for a cornea. Don't worry, not a problem at all. They bounce. They bounce back. They bounce back. That's a true fact about the eye from Jacob there. That is the only announcement we have tonight. I will be playing the character of Theo while Haz is away. I'll cover Theo for the next 2 weeks. Everyone else is here tonight. We are all ready to rock and roll. Otherwise, I don't think we have any other fun, crazy announcements to share for the moment, unless anyone's got anything fun they want to share. I think, Josh, you and I might be doing something for the Corsairs Cove charity stream event. I just got a message literally before we went live about the Corsairs Cove Candle Keep Christmas. Have you been messaged that yet? I suspect yours will be coming soon.
Yeah, I reckon I'll get mine soon. I haven't had it just yet, but fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think it sounds like there's going to be another really fun charity live stream event, a Christmas themed live stream event over on Corsairs Cove. So we will definitely hang out for that. I think if I am available and I'm free, I will definitely try and do it, because Corsairs Cove are a lovely friend of the show, and we love doing little cross plays with them. We should get Josh. On for a other Josh. We've got this Josh. We should get the other Josh the pirate, on for a session as a guest character. Maybe I should see if he's free next week while Haz is away, just for a quick.
And he'll never leave.
Double Josh.
That's what happens with the Joshes.
I was going to say, so far, 100% success rate. Josh is
man. Most of that Wednesday night game, mostly guest characters.
It's true. That's true. But that's how we recruit the best and the brightest. Is we bring them on as a guest spot, and then they stick around. That's how most people end up getting sucked into this. In fact, every single person who's sitting here was a guest before they joined the mainstream. Except for Jared.
He meant everyone that matters.
Yeah, I did.
Oh man, that's fair.
So we will jump into the session right now. I will do a really nice detailed recap, because obviously we've had a week off before, so we weren't here last Monday. So I'll make sure we're fully re-immersed back into the adventure. So previously, our adventure has been following a new team of the Tempest Adventuring Guild, specifically a new team consisting of Theo, Luther, Jonor, Grinner, and Tithla. Having become trapped within the realm of Barovia while searching for some missing adventurers, this group have been travelling west in search of a way to escape these lands. Their journey has not been made alone though. In the town of Vallaki, the team met up with Killian, an adventurer from a distant land who has now joined the party. The team are on their way to the town of Kresk, accompanying Nikolai and Stella Wachter, the last surviving children of the Wachter house. After losing her mind following an accident with a teleportation circle, Nikolai is hoping the abbot at Kresk can help his sister Stella. The party too have need of a healer, Tithla having suffered pretty severe burns a few days ago which have yet to be fully treated. After exploring a seemingly abandoned tower on the way, the team bumped into Esmeralda, a student of Rictavio's currently attempting to track down her former master. After gifting Esmeralda a whistle, which the team had previously agreed to use as a signal to contact Rictavio again, they parted ways and returned to catch up to the Wachters. Unfortunately, their time at the tower had proved longer than originally anticipated, and the Wachters had moved on ahead. Tracking the path onwards, the team was surprised to find the wagon had turned away from the path to Kresk, instead heading down the road leading to the Wizard of Wine's vineyard. Following the path, the team found themselves in amongst the vines, a blood trail leading from the ruined carriage just off the side of the road. Emerging from the blighted soil, a large mass of vines covered in beautiful flowers suddenly rose from the earth and attacked, undead monsters emerging from its bloated form. The team destroyed the corpse flower, but upon its death, a cloud of spores unleashed from its stem, causing them to black out and suffer vivid hallucinations. After awakening from this shared dark nightmare, the team made their way through the vineyard to the buildings on a large hill nearby. Meeting the owner of the vineyard, a gruff older gentleman called Davian, the team placed the order for the wine that was to be sent to Vallaki as per the instructions of Gunther back in the town of Vallaki. Then they joined Davian for a bit of wine tasting. As the evening wore on, the wine worked to help smooth conversation, and the team spent a while learning about the dangers posed by the druids of Yester Hill, a nearby druid circle that had been corrupted over a very, very long period of time. After Jonor offered to do a card reading as a bit of a party trick, Jonor found himself making a true foretelling, the second true foretelling he's made so far, mentioning a talisman made of feather and bone, lost in a drowned village. This seemed to have a pretty profound effect on Davian and his daughter, who very quickly headed off, leaving the party to kind of make their own way to bed. Killian decided to check up on the daughter, a bit sort of confused as to whether or not Stefania was okay. And after having a bit of a talk to her before he could learn anything useful, Davian came back in and sent her to bed. And that is where we left off last session. Jonor having finished his card reading, the cards now tucked away back in your deck, Jonor. Killian, you're sitting alone at the bench. Stefania having just left to head to bed, and Davian wishing you a good night. Looking, very distant, almost 1,000 yards stare, as if a lot of thoughts are playing across his mind right now. That is where we left off. I'm going to jump back in first with Killian. You're inside. It looks like the other son, the eldest son, Adrian, who you had a very brief conversation with. He was the one who had been reading in the study with his younger brother, but then eventually decided to come and help light all the lanterns and get the winery ready for the evening. As he sees you sort of sitting there alone at the kitchen bench, he reaches over to the coat stand, pulls out a very large cloak and wraps it around himself, and then pulls a crossbow out from a cabinet attached to the wall that is currently locked. He reaches in with a key, unlocks it, and pulls out what looks like a pretty reasonably sized crossbow. Gives you a bit of a smile. Sadly, I'm on guard duty tonight. If you need anything, the guest rooms are now made up. Feel free to stay up as long as you want. And if you need anything, I'll be over near the barn. Just do a sort of lazy circuit around for the next couple of hours.
Would you like some company?
I couldn't ask you to stay up all night with me. Look, you're welcome to join me for the first loop if you like, but I think I'm not going to ask a guest of my father's to stay up all night and help me with guard duty. It's I'll be honest, it's very boring. Not much normally happens.
It is fine. I'm more than happy to assist you. I'm not particularly tired, if I'm honest, and I don't normally rest for that long. To be fair.
Well, if you have a spare hour or two, say no.
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Well, please. And he holds the door open for you, the front door open to you, that leads back out towards the tasting area, towards the beer garden.
I'll just follow him and do a perimeter sweep with him.
Perfect. As the two of you emerge back out, you can see the rest of the party sitting down at the table. The carafe of wine that you had been tasting before probably has about a quarter left in it. It seems to be much more of a sweeter dessert wine to finish off the evening. I'm going to say maybe like something similar to a port, perhaps. That's still sitting on the table, much smaller glasses in front of you. While Killian is having a bit of a chat with Adrian, and before he comes out, what would the rest of you be doing during this time? I mean, before this, the evening had been going fairly smoothly. You'd been talking. Davian had warmed up very quickly to you. There'd been a lot of conversation, and then suddenly, once this card reading was performed, and Jonor pulled out that card, the card of crows. I think it was the 9 of stars from memory.
9 of stars.
Yeah. Once you pulled that out, yeah, everything kind of just stopped.
I mean, Grinner was just kind of chilling at the table, drinking his spirits.
That's right. You were at a vineyard and you were refusing to taste any of the wine. You were drinking whiskey. That's right. I remember now. You were that guy.
Well, no, I was having. It was some sort of a wine-based spirit. I can't remember exactly what it was now.
It was the worst grapes they had.
Oh, that's right. It was cheap vodka. It was moonshine vodka.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Grape vodka,
But
which is
apparently
really
it was
good, by the way.
great.
Grape vodka is delicious.
Is it actually? Is this a thing?
Yeah.
Grape vodka. Oh, isn't like grape flavored vodka or vodka made from grapes?
No, like vodka made from grapes.
There you go. Because the first result I got was Hubba Bubba vodka. I'll be honest. There was a part of me that died inside reading that. Just a little part of me.
And there was another part of you that lit up in excitement.
I'm actually I'm not a Hubba Bubba fan. I never was. I went through childhood. I was a Ghost Drops fan. If we're going back to the Australian candy.
They're both good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed both. They're great.
I really enjoyed the Ghost Drops. This is very... were Ghost Drops available anywhere else apart from Australia? I think they were an Australian thing. Josh, did you ever get Ghost Drops? They were like a little hard candy that was normally a little bit sour, wrapped in a single packet.
Something like that. It wasn't called Ghost Drops. We've got Hubba Bubba over here.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, maybe Ghost Drops was a uniquely Australian...
So good there.
Yeah, there were 4 different colours. I'm not going to say flavours because I don't know what flavour they were. They were colours.
They were chemical flavored.
They were chemical flavors, and I remember as a young lad at swimming carnivals, we'd clearly Jacob doesn't like this story. He's just disappeared on us. I used to like pretend that each one gave you like a different power. I can't remember what the powers were for the different colors, but like this was what we'd do as like young primary school age children. We'd just like essentially have probably like a cup's worth of sugar of these things, and at that point, time slowed down around you and you genuinely felt like you were a superhero. And then the sugar crash occurred. But no, it's Ghost Drops, that takes me back, man. So Grinner is enjoying your moonshine grape vodka.
I am. It's delicious. And given the card reading and the reaction, can Grinner roll for did he actually notice that?
Yeah, 100%. Do you want to make me an insight check?
I do. As soon as I find that stat. There it is.
He's
Oh,
rolling.
did that come through? I think it's pooed the bed. I'm gonna sort it out, but it was 16.
16. As you take a bit of a moment to focus, Grinner, your brain kind of like, I'm going to say at this point, you've had enough of this stuff that your reaction times have slowed a bit. And your subconscious, you kind of feel this tap on your shoulder in your mind as your subconscious goes, Grinner, something's going on out there, mate. You got to pay attention outside again. Put the glass down, something happened out there. Jonor said some words. He made him unhappy and he showed him a card. And we noticed a card had a little crow on it. And he talked about some sort of like thing made of feathers and bone. The girl got really upset and ran off, and the man got really like quiet. I'd say that, yeah, you noticed that the girl, Stefania, very emotional response. This instant shock replaced by sadness and grief as she quickly left. Davian was a bit different. Very hard man to read. This is a man who's used to sort of keeping his emotions buried beneath, wearing a mask at all times. A man who sort of has been strong for people around him so they don't know when he's hurting or when he's upset or in danger, probably to protect them. Very much like, I'd say probably Grinner, not too dissimilar from how you would be in situations. If you were with your loved ones, you would want to protect them from things that might upset them. So there's a kinship there, almost an understanding of, this is how he deals with things. Shock, definitely from Davian. A numb shock, almost like a battle shock. This numb, empty feeling. No other emotion from Davian.
So I've been around, like you say, that's how Grinner works, and Grinner's been around a lot of nasty shit, and his band of people that he was with have also been around a lot of nasty shit. So that sort of way of dealing with things and coping would be second nature for him. As such, could I argue a roll with advantage to see, I guess, what is it? Grief? Is it fear? What are the? I know that you're saying that there's not really much of a read on other emotions, but is there any way that Grinner can delve a little deeper, given he channels shit the same way?
Yeah, I think that's a very well-reasoned argument. Yes, you may roll your insight check again, and we'll take the higher value. Be a real shame to get a nat 1 now to balance that out, wouldn't it? 23. Grinner. It is definitely a sorrow, a grief. But there's another emotion there as well. Anger. A burning anger that has never been extinguished. It's been squashed. It's been pushed deep. But Davian he's raging underneath the surface. He is hurting. And he has covered it up with this cool facade. That emotionlessness, it's like a lead lining keeping in hot nuclear waste. This rage burning within him. Whatever
and to
it
clarify,
is. Yeah. Not at Jonor. Not at Jonor.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Cool.
Yeah. No. At something else. Definitely not Jonor. There's shock at Jonor. There's confusion. There's maybe like a hint of resentment about Jonor bringing this up, but the rage isn't directed at Jonor. It's not directed at anyone at this table. It's not directed at anyone that you can see. This is rage directed with a 23. This is rage directed mostly at himself.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Grinner knows all about that. All right, that's all I need.
Yeah, this is a man who feels anger and hatred, self-loathing, and shame.
And he's followed his daughter inside now. Hey, okay.
Yeah, and yeah, you saw Killian follow the daughter in. He stayed outside with you for like an extra 30 seconds, and then followed Killian in.
Mm-hmm. I'll stay put and keep sipping my drink, just having a think, I think, for the moment.
So, what time of day is it right now?
It's
like
early evening, probably about... no, it's not early evening. It's probably about mid to late evening, about sort of 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock by your best estimates. Because you got up to the top of the hill at about 5 o'clock, and you guys were drinking and talking for a while. So yeah, I'd say probably about 9, 10 o'clock at night. Because the lanterns were all lit around about 7. So yeah, it's been about 2 hours since then. So yeah, about 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Cool. So Grinner, what were you just doing then? Were you outside? You said or something?
Yeah, so I'm still at the outside table at the alfresco where we were. I've just been drinking my straight grape vodka, and after this whole card reading, I'm just going to stay sitting there, kind of spinning the drink around in the tumbler that I have, and mulling over those emotions that I picked up on because they're very close to home.
Okay. I'm going to sit down at the table with you. Let some time pass for a sec. I also have a little sip of my own wine. Everyone else, whoever's there, will obviously stay there, but obviously Davian has already went inside. So I'm going to look at you, Grinner. I'm going to say, so, Grinner.
Yeah.
Where are you from? I know we've known each other for a while, but we've never really talked about sort of our backgrounds.
Well, no, I suppose we haven't. It's hard to. I don't really like thinking on the past stuff, mate. You know that it's all about in the moment and just try not to fucking die.
I'm not talking so much about where you served, more the family that you had before.
Yeah. Well,
Do you still have family?
Not that I have anything to do with. I don't really know if they're still alive.
Because I noticed something way back when. On your jacket, in your jacket, I should say, you had some interesting. It's an insignia or something along those lines. I'm going way back.
I remember. Yeah. Well, shit's a bit faded now. It's the family crest, mate. I don't really know much about it. I've never really been one for that sort of shit. But no, it's I believe it's my dad's family. Well, I guess my mum's too. But
did your dad ever have any siblings that you knew of?
I mean, he could have done. There was a lot of his friends round, and most of them were uncle this or uncle that. But I don't know which ones might have been blood or not. Why? What the fuck are you getting on about?
No, just I've seen the insignia before. That your family crest. I've seen it before. You know my little secret now. I'm a bit older than I seem. I've seen it around before. A bit more when it was in its glory days, though. You might not know this, but well, that family crest you have there, it's a little bit more involved. A bit more history there. Come from some good roots. I'll say that.
Well, there's a few. Yeah. Hold on. Gonna neck the rest of his drink for a minute. And is the bottle out there or not?
Of the grape vodka? No.
Honestly, I'd say of anything at this point.
There's the dessert one. There's about a quarter of a bottle left of a port. And when I say a bottle, it's like a decanter of port.
I think Grinner's probably going to have a taste of that. Fuck that sweet.
It's really sweet after the. It's really sweet after the vodka. it's painfully sweet.
Grinner's probably going to spit it out actually and put it back down. There's a few fucking things to unpack with that. Grinner kind of puts his cup down. We haven't really spoken too much about that. You say you're older, and I know you got some fucking shit fuckery going on, right?
Well, as we were talking, I'll like lower my glasses. That normally you can't see my eyes, but now you see them, and they've got like that reddish hue to them. Yes, a little bit of fuckery, as you said.
With that reddish hue, would I pick up on any similarities between any other monsters we've been fighting recently?
You know outright, Grinner, at this point that Luther is partially through the transformation into a vampire.
Yeah, you know
that.
Yeah. But do I draw that correlation with the eyes as well?
Do you want to make me a nature or arcana check? And while you're doing the other thing, I'll add as well. I think the family crest, it was the military patch on your coat that you'd torn off. The family crest was on your waistcoat, wasn't it? That you wore like half hidden under the coat. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
that's right.
I only saw it once.
Yeah, you've only seen it once as he sort of pulls the coat apart. Because Grinner has a very military.
I've kept my distance, but now that I've revealed my secret, I'm prying a little bit. I'm probably not gonna. I won't say nothing more.
Because Grinner wears an old waistcoat, a very faded waistcoat with the family crest that is very, very old, and it's mostly kept hidden underneath the military jacket that you wear, with your then trench coat on top of that. But I mean, now that your military jacket's unbuttoned, it's a bit warmer here. You've not needed to bundle up against the cold. The waistcoat's not that dissimilar to the waistcoat Luther's wearing as well. In fact, Luther's just looks like a much more well-maintained, like perfectly fitted, bespoke waistcoat. Very similar cut. 10 Grinner on the Arcana. I mean, red eyes. You know that there are many races that have red eye color naturally occurring. I mean, tieflings, ganassi, fire ganassi specifically. You've even heard of a condition, albinism, where people can have no pigment and they get red eyes as well. In terms of specifically monsters with red eyes, I mean, the only one that you can think of off the top of your head with red eyes is, some sort of vampire maybe. You've seen.
What about the vampire we fought?
Yeah, you've seen 2 vampires spawn and a full-blooded vampire now, all of them with the red eyes.
A question for you, Owen. Would they have a more deeper reddish hue where mine would maybe be lighter? Because I didn't fully complete the transition.
I was actually going to go the other way. I think yours is a much more deeper color, because maybe you had brown eyes originally, and whereas the vampires have these very bright, vibrant, almost like glowing eyes. Because you know how vampires kind of have that almost hypnotic-like gaze? I kind of imagine this very, like, encapturing hue. The red eye color that glows softly seems to draw you in and pull your vision in towards the vampire's gaze to help.
And sorry, when does the sparkling skin come into it in the sunlight?
That's after he's given a piggyback to Tithla and told her to hold on tight, spider monkey. Yeah. It's
now I have to do that. I'll do that in like 50 sessions when we don't remember.
Yeah, perfect.
as you're leaving your friends dying on the floor of Strahd's ballroom, you're like, hold on tight, spider monkey. You just run Tifla down the side of the castle, leave the rest there to die.
Perfect.
What race were you before you got all nibbled on, Luther?
No, human. I show my ears, I show my features, like just a classic old human. From Oxenford, actually.
That's where I'm from. Well, originally, there's people there. How fucking old are you, mate?
Do you really want to know? Truly?
Yeah. I think. I mean,
I've lost count of some of the way, but from my estimates, 210 years old.
Right. You fucking look good for it.
Oh, well, thank you.
And you knew my family or some shit?
Well, I've definitely seen the crest. You should take more pride in that.
Well, it doesn't mean much to me now. I think the waistcoat's a hand-me-down. I just kind of hang on to it, but...
I put my hand on your shoulder and go, Grinner, family is everything. Blood runs thick.
Well, I suppose. Tell that to a dad that beats you.
Well, it doesn't bode well. I sort of look down a little bit, almost like disappointment on my face, because I realize that's probably an ancestor, not an ancestor, sorry, a descendant.
Statistically, if you think about the ages in play, that's probably your nephew or great-nephew. well, not a great nephew. That's your nephew or shit nephew. It's the other way.
Definitely not a great nephew.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look a bit disappointed with that. Actually, that yeah. Well, with that, I pat you on the back. I'll pat you on the shoulder again and go, well, like I said, take a bit more pride in it. But for now, I'm a bit peckish. This wine has been good, but I think I need a little midnight snack.
I don't think I want to know what that means, Luther.
A bat pre-sun. I think we know.
I
Perfect.
sort of nod,
Yeah.
look at Grinner. Yeah, take some more pride in that.
While you two are having your little chat, Jonor, Tithla, and Theo, given that Grinner and Luther are kind of sitting off just at a table right near your table, but clearly having a very private conversation at this point, or not a very private conversation, but having a little
Yeah, not so.
conversation.
Let's not
Yeah.
have to be private. I'm not trying to hide
Just-
anything. They'll be around.
Yeah.
I don't mind if they hear
Yeah.
me talk.
But while they're having a little D&M, Jonor, Tithla, what are you two doing?
I was just thinking, like, this is a winery, yeah?
You're pretty milk drunk
Yeah.
at this point, Tithla. I mean, your belly's
Milk
full. You've been drinking milk for the entire
why-
evening.
Where are they getting their milk from? Like, why would they have a cow? Do they have cows? Is the cow for the milk? Is the cow for the beef?
Do you want to?
I think there could be a couple different animals around. Have you had a look? We've just arrived in this the front al fresco. There's
Are you
probably other
proposing that
parts.
I'm not drinking cow milk?
That's the opposite of what I'm saying. I'm saying there could be. You just don't know. You've got a lack
It
of
sounds
information.
like you're saying I'm probably not drinking cow milk.
Tithla, roll me a nature check to figure out what milk you've been drinking.
Naturally, and Tithla is the best at nature, as she is at so many
If you get a
things.
nat 1, I'm going to be very happy.
That's a 17. 22.
22. Tithla, you've definitely been drinking cow milk.
I've definitely been drinking cow milk. Why would you try and bring that sort of confusion into this?
I thought you were some sort of nature inquisitor. You'd be able to figure these things out, and we can check out this place if we wanted to.
What,
See if there are
dark?
cows.
Well, would that be rude?
I guess they didn't say to go have a look around, but
I'd say it's at
We
this
would-
point, as the two of you are having this conversation, and Grinner and Luther are having a very in-depth conversation, you see Adrian and Killian emerge from inside the house. Adrian gives you guys a bit of a nod and a wave, and you watch Killian. Again, I'm thinking like a bit of a nod, bit of a wave, and then begin following Adrian out. You can see Adrian's got a crossbow and is clearly dressed a bit more warmly now that he's away from the fires, heading off into the darkness near where the barn is.
And I stalk him from behind.
Okay.
Is that your midnight snack?
Killian does have a bottle of blood. He does have a clay jar full.
I gotta get my Capri Suns going. You know,
That's true.
Bats, rats,
Very
anything.
fresh.
Oh,
I wave at them with the handless arm.
With the stump. Great. Outstanding.
I'm so sorry about my friends.
Theo points
They're
at the two of them walking off and goes, "It looks like some of them are already going off to have an explore. Probably it is okay to have an explore too."
Well,
I think we should. Just let's have a little bit of a walk around here. I cast the light cantrip and
Oh, we don't need
grab a
that.
little stick nearby and
I've already turned on all the lights outside. I did the torches.
oh wow, okay, you're way ahead of it then. Let's
I
head
tried.
around the other way. We'll just check the perimeter the other way. I grab her by the arm, sort of pull her along the other way.
Ow!
Oh, sorry. I forget that you're that short.
The
Then your
burns.
skin
The burns are
hasn't
still
healed up.
fresh.
properly. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's
I
not your
know-
fault.
Yeah.
I know Haz isn't here, but I do think it would be at this point that Theo would make a joke. Are you going to try and steal Tithla again? They feel like
I
I
don't
have
think you
to.
would. I think that's too easy. I think it's more classy than that.
Well,
And
you
I
never try to steal him. Try to buy him.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
And I think Owen's just a bit paranoid now and Owen's just waiting for it 24/7. Get ready. Is it now? Is it now? No, we're classy people.
That's
These
not
things-
true. That's a deception
Do it,
check
come
with disadvantage. It's definitely not true.
Because we all know it was a scholarship being offered.
That's true.
So...
Exactly.
No, I think even the mum was a bit worried, wasn't she?
No,
Everyone
she wasn't
was.
until
Okay.
she wasn't until Jacob made it worrying. As the two of you begin to head off, Theo sort of goes to stand, stops, and goes, "Actually, I am kind of comfortable here. I might stay and keep drinking this delicious port. You have fun walking in the darkness. If you need any help, just give a call. I will mirthfully leap to your aid."
Okay, thank you. Quick question. What's mirthfully?
With joyous abandon.
Mirthfully is where you have a lot of joy and you do it with a lot of enthusiasm. That's what it is.
Okay. See, I learned so much around you. Thank you so much.
It's the same kind of joy that
No.
you would have to blast Hans Gruber off the top of a very tall tower.
Who?
What?
That sounds some sort of... the word Christmas movie comes to mind, and I'm
Yes.
just not sure why.
The best one, the best Christmas movie.
You're goddamn right.
So, those
Hey,
cows.
Tifla, yes, let's go and find those cows. Yeah, and as we walk around out of earshot of everyone else, trying to walk casually, I'd say to Tifla, I was showing off my cards and using, my ability to try and understand the future, and all I did was just upset all of them.
Yeah.
Why would my skills, bring pain to other people?
So, you know how sometimes when you look at me, you see a little... When you first saw me, you saw a goblin that was scary and frightening, and you didn't understand?
Oh,
Do you remember?
yeah, bits and pieces, yeah. Carry on.
Yeah. It's the same. They just don't know you yet. They just have an idea of what these sort of powers or abilities are, and they don't actually know what it means, or they don't know what it means for you to have them. So they're just scared because the only exposure they've had to this sort of thing was through somebody else, and it must have been a negative experience.
So if I'm nice to them and ease them into more divination, then maybe they'll get more familiar with it and they'll embrace it a bit more?
Well, how did you become more comfortable with me?
Oh, just time. And your joyful little personality, of course.
Thank you. But I didn't try and force anything. You just sort of let it happen.
Yeah, okay. Don't shove it down the throat. It's as it's offered. As it's requested. Yeah. Sometimes you could do a little trick, but you know what they say? Consent is key. That's a phrase many times uttered in Oxenford. That's absolutely true. So I'll keep maybe the deck just in the back pocket, and not just shove it into people's faces. I don't want to force my ways on them.
Yeah. But also, how were you to know that they were going to have, such a negative reaction? It's not your fault. It just sort of is.
Don't shoot the messenger, I guess, is the message here.
Am I the messenger?
Well, you're giving me this latest insight, so I wouldn't shoot you for the insight.
Thank you. I
Probably use
appreciate
a
it.
firebolt instead would be my method of damage, but...
Wow, you're going to bring up fire with the burns, really?
Oh, it's really insensitive, isn't it?
Yeah, almost as insensitive as... I'm not going to bring up a joke about you buying me this time. We were having a nice moment. I won't wreck it.
Aw.
Hey, can I show
Do we
you
see
something?
any... Oh, yeah, okay.
Hey, you see those cows over there?
I
come.
look for cows. Are there actually cows?
Yeah, she's pointing at cows. Yeah.
That's not how
Are they
D&D
cows?
works.
Well, I was waiting for you to interrupt and say there are no cows.
Which I did. Could I get you to roll me a perception check, please?
Roll for cows.
Absolutely. Perception is... That's
13
21.
for Jonor, 21 for Tifla. Tifla, as you point, rather than pointing specifically at a cow, what you're pointing at is down towards the lower section of the vineyard, you can actually see what looks like a pen, an animal pen. It's probably only got a bay for maybe 3 or 4 medium to large sized animals. And you can see there is a trough out the front with water, another trough with hay, as well as a saddle draped over the side of one of the fences towards the front. And this is set just off the road and on the driveway that leads up towards the main house. There's no fires or anything down here, so it's only the light of the moon that's allowing you to see this. And as you have a quick look, even from this distance, let's say you're probably about 30 meters away, looking through the gloom with your very keen goblin senses, you can see that 2 of the stalls have a horse in them. One of the stalls is empty, and one of the other stalls has a cow.
Oh. Well, never mind. The cows aren't out in the field or out and about. I was going to show you this cool trick where you can get them and they fall over and they land on their back and then they struggle to get up. It's called cow tipping. But they got to be outside a little bit. This isn't going to work. I'm sorry.
As an aside, as a city boy, is cow tipping a thing that actually people do in the real world? Okay. It always felt like to me the sort of thing that country people would say to make city people look like idiots. Yeah. Yeah, good to know. No, drop bears are different. Yeah. Obviously, drop bears are real. Mate,
cow tipping.
I lost my father to a drop bear. Like, I can't believe you're just bringing this up.
But he was no good, so it's fine.
We found him again straight after. He's fine.
Yeah.
Just got dragged up the tree. No worries.
Yeah, exactly. You just tickle them under the chin and they let you go.
What, fathers?
Oh boy. Carry on, Jonor, please. Save us from this conversation.
Cow tipping.
Yes.
Is this? I don't know what cow tipping is. I know what tipping is, but cow?
Yeah. So it's like that, except not at all like that.
Well, show me then.
Okay. Well, I can't. Here, we'll practice.
And Tissa's going to get down on all 4 knees like a cow.
Okay. Yep, fair.
I'm going to say...
Okay. Is that getting dirt in your wounds?
She's a goblin, okay?
Lay down like a cloak or something?
Hands and knees.
No. And then you sneak up from me. Sneak up from behind.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you made it weird again.
Okay, I'm behind you.
Okay, and now you scare me, and I fall over.
Boo!
Ah!
Tissa falls on her back and kicking her arms and legs around.
Ah! And see, it's just like that, but with a cow.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's definitely not going to give me the hoof when I do that to them, but
The
right,
hoof?
well,
Do you want me to kick you in the face and we can make it feel more realistic?
I think those cows may do that.
Yeah, okay. Well, like I said, we can't do that, but we can go and give them a pat. So let's go say hello and say thank you for the milk.
I approach the cows to pet them.
Yeah.
Go down and say hello.
As you guys make your way down towards the stalls, we've had a question. There we go. I was going to say we had a question from chat. Josh, have you heard of drop bears before?
I don't think so, but I'm quickly looking it up just to see if I do know what they are.
So drop bears look identical to koalas in every way and form, but unlike koalas, drop bears are vicious, murderous bastards. I mean, the number 1 cause of death for Australians and tourists to Australia is drop bears.
Probably more tourists than Australians.
More tourists than Australians. Most Australians know to tickle the chin, so it's all good. But yeah, they drag you up into trees and disembowel you.
Lovely.
And if you're ever out in bush at night, you can hear them grunting.
Yeah, you can.
From the tops of the trees.
And it's hard to tell apart because they sound identical to the mating call of the male koala, which is this. So it is very hard to know.
It's actually grim.
It's the red eyes that give them away though, because they're iridescent in the dark.
But once you can see the red eye, it's too late for you. You're already a goner. That's the problem.
I think they're related to the bunyip as well.
They are, yeah, and the yowie as well. It's a very dense family tree of.
Josh must be sitting there like, what the?
Josh's like, what the fuck is yowie?
I mean, I was going to say the 2 most deadly animals in the UK are the deer and cows.
Food is what I'm hearing.
And we're about to go.
Is that as in oh dear?
As in actual deers, like 20,000 road collisions in the UK are caused by deers a year, and
Hang on.
By cows.
Is it the deer that's killing people, or is it people not driving properly?
Well, if you're in
It's
a car
deer
crash,
killing
what
people
kills the
because they
person? Is it the phone pole or the car?
I mean, we
I
do
think
have
it's the
kangaroos are very
acceleration.
similar.
It's the deceleration, right? The physics. I think
Kangaroos are very similar.
it's physics. Blame
the deer.
physics. Physics is the villain here.
So deer off the
Physics
hook,
is the villain here.
Yeah,
as is normal life.
exactly. It's the physics that's the problem, man. Brilliant. As the two of you make your way down towards the stalls, we're going to jump back with Killian. Killian, as you begin making your rounds around the vineyard, I guess you could say rounds square the vineyard, as you begin moving around the large open barn section, Adrian reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out a small hip flask, which he uncorks, takes a swig, breathes out this big cloud of steam, goes, do you want a sip? If you're getting cold, it's quite nice, warms you up.
No, I'm fine, thank you. Are you old enough to be doing that?
Yeah. What do you mean?
I mean, you look relatively young, human, yes?
Yeah.
Yes. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
17.
Okay, that is a little bit younger than what it is. What
Wait.
the legal limit is in my land.
Wait, what? Hang on. Hang on. Sorry. You can't drink unless you're over
18. So you're not far off.
18 in your world.
Yes.
Man, I thought
Certain
Barovia
parts,
was
anyway.
grim. Yeah.
I
wow.
mean,
Most
I've been
people-
here long enough to know that you could probably start drinking at the age of 12 here with the stuff that goes on.
Yeah, I mean, I first started drinking like watered down ales and beers when I was like 13, 14, and then started having a bit of wine when I was 16, and a little nip of spirits after that as well. I mean, my younger brother, he's only 13, so he doesn't have wine or anything like that. And my sister Stefania, I mean, she's 16, so she's just started drinking wine a little bit now. But man, that's crazy. Huh.
You're so young. Are you? I do not mean to insult you with this, but are you? Do you know how to use that? And I gesture towards the crossbow.
In one smooth motion, he spins and looses, and you watch as the crossbow flies through the dark air, smashing into and slicing grapes off a vine before embedding itself in a post roughly 200 feet away, as the grapes immediately drop to the ground,
You know
having
what?
severed just a bunch of grapes.
Can I do something, Owen? You'll
Yeah.
hear a fuck.
As Luther was like prowling around the grapes, prowling around the vineyard, looking for something to drink. As you hear that, oh fuck, you watch as Adrian sort of squints through and goes, "Are you what are you doing down in the vineyard? What are you doing amongst the vines?"
Oh, what are you shooting crossbow bolts in random fields?
If you're gonna take a piss,
I'm
do it back up at the
walking
house. Don't piss on the vines, mate.
Oh, no, I'm not. I wouldn't do that. I'm civilized. I'm just going for a nice stroll.
All right, be
Does
careful
that
out there,
have
though.
something behind my back, probably?
Yeah, there's something wriggling and squeaking.
Oh, no, it's already a Capri Sun.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
You
holding
watch
it
as-
behind my back.
As Adrian kind of like nods and then turns back to you, Killian, puts the crossbow over his shoulder. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm an okay shot.
Okay, shot. I mean, that was bloody fantastic. Very good.
You skewered me here from the thing.
Sorry, you were walking around the dark vineyards. It's not my fault. You got weird
He
friends,
has
mate.
a point.
What's he doing out after? Does he do this often? Just like wanders around in the wilderness after dark? He does know it's dangerous around here at night, right? There's a reason I'm on guard duty.
He's naturally a scout, so he likes to go around and make sure that the rest of us are safe.
That's good
Whether
of it.
there is protection there already or not,
Okay.
So he's very good at it.
You hear from the vineyard. I look after their pretty little necks.
Jesus Christ.
And you hear laughter.
I'm sorry,
I
what
start
the
walking
fuck?
further away.
Daddy's fucked up, dude.
Hey, I heard your conversation.
What about cow tipping?
Arizona.
It started getting a little weird at points.
It was completely innocent. That was you were bringing that lens to that. That's on you. That's a reflection on your mind.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my god. As you are led away from this section and round the back of the barn, Adrian reloads the crossbow, cranking it back and locking in his position, and then clicking the safety so that it's back on once again. Yeah. So it's crazy. Like, what age do you guys do stuff as? Like, when are you considered adults? Here it's 16. I mean, I'm pretty much seen as an adult from the age of 16. I mean, my dad offered me the choice if I wanted to stick around or maybe head to one of the other towns and start up a tavern or a bar. I mean, there was a time where I was going to go work with the Markovs in Vallaki. I mean, we've got some cousins there, and I was going to go work with Damien. But I changed my mind. I wanted to stick out, and after what happened with... I didn't want to leave Dad away.
I mean, the legal drinking age is 18 where I'm from, but working age, you could start working from the age of 12. Military service normally starts around 17, 18 as well. Some cases, depending on which type of military you join, is 16. But,
How is that fair? What, you can't drink, but you can hold a gun? Or crossbow?
well, you don't particularly want to be, drinking and holding a weapon at the same time, sort of thing. You need to become skilled with it first before you learn to drink.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't make the laws up. I just follow them. But in my particular, where I come from in particular, I was not considered an adult until I was 40. So.
What? Sorry, 40.
Yes, well, I'm of elven descent, so I age a little bit slower than humans do.
Oh, right. Right, yeah.
Well, I age the same, but I'm actually 60, so in human years that would be 25, 30, something like that.
Wow. So you're gonna live a while? Like you're gonna live a lot longer then?
Yes, I believe maybe 150, 200 years or something like that. I'm not 100% sure on the exact maths. I mean, obviously, unless something happens to me, but naturally it would be 150 to 200 years.
Wow. Man, I wish I was part of. Sounds awesome.
It has its ups and downs, but the age factor is not one of the downs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's any like compliment to you, you didn't strike me as a typical elf. We had a group come through. Oh man, I would have been like maybe 15, maybe just 15. We had a group come through, and it was just a party of all these different elves, and they were so snobbish. It was unbelievable. They were like giving this full like breakdown of the tasting notes to my dad, and he was being polite, but I could tell he was struggling. And man, if my mum hadn't been there. And as he says that, you watch as he suddenly goes quiet, and then goes, anyway, you don't seem like a typical elf, if that's a compliment. I don't know.
I'll take it as a compliment. I believe the elves you are probably speaking of are probably of the high variety, not the good type of high either.
Is that what you call them? Or they don't call themselves that, do they?
High elves is what they normally call themselves.
Fuck
yes.
me, pretentious wankers. Do they really call themselves high
common
elves?
greeting.
High elf. You're a sad man, Raph. You're sitting there. How long have you been sitting on that for?
Oh, long enough.
Since he cracked open the D&D playbook for the first time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, there we go. Well pun. Man, they really call themselves high elves. That's pretentious as.
It is a little bit, and judging by the description you gave, they are likely to be of that descent. Do you know what happened to them?
They introduced themselves with like 3 names, and they were like, I couldn't pronounce them, and then they insisted that we call them by their full names. It was ridiculous. It was crazy, man. What happened to them? I don't know. After they left the vineyard, I mean, and you can see he's like, there's a look of guilt. Like he wants to tell you something, but he also doesn't know how to tell you. And there's clearly something he's struggling with at this point. I'd say your passive insight is enough to pick up on that.
I mean, they were assholes by the sound of it. So if they have no connection to me myself, I am not of my elven descent is not that of a high elf. I am descended from those who dwell in the forests. So whatever happened to them bears no weight on me. It's just interesting to know what sort of dangers there could be out there on our way to Kresk, or I believe Theo said about going to Yester Hill.
Last I heard, they were making their way to Strahd's castle. He doesn't say Strahd's castle, sorry, let me rephrase. Last I heard, they said they were making their way to Castle Ravenloft. They said they were going to demand an audience with the ruler of these lands, and we never saw them again.
From what I have heard in my time here, that is not a good thing. There's not you do not make demands of the master of that place.
Yeah, it's a shame because like I was generalizing. One of them seemed quite nice. He was like, I guess like you, like a youngish elf. Like he seemed like he was like a couple of years older than me at the time, maybe like 20, 22. So what's that in Elven year? Probably what, like 200, right? Like 100
something like that, yes.
Yeah.
The full-blooded elf's age is completely different to that of one who is only of a half variety.
Right. Oh, okay.
Depending on where they're from, of course. If they're from my land, then they could live up to 1,000 or something ridiculous like that. Other places it might be less. I don't know. It depends.
Yeah.
Many worlds out there.
I didn't catch the name of the world they're from. Sorry, but yeah. I mean, that guy seemed kind of cool. He seemed all right. So I sometimes find myself thinking, like, what happened to him? Did he? Yeah, because I don't know. He didn't seem like he wanted to go with them to the castle. He seemed a bit more reticent. He was going to try and stay with us, but they insisted that they all travel together, and yeah.
Do you remember his name?
Oh, I mean, you watch as he like really struggles and thinks. You can see him kind of like pausing. Sorry, not off the top of my head. If I remember it, I'll let you know.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So it is just you, your father, your brother and sister. No one else.
Just us. I mean, we've got other family, but just us here at the vineyard.
It must be hard. No workers here to help with the grapes and in the winery and all of that sort of stuff.
We occasionally get some other people coming from Kresk. I mean, we provide a lot of wine for free to Kresk. So I mean, they help us out sometimes. They send workers, and I mean, there's other Mardikovs. It's not just us. I mean, the families can always count upon the others, like flying in when we need help.
Interesting. Where do they come from normally? You say flying in. Do they?
Yeah, like all over. You know, like different places. They come and help out.
Any from Kresk that we could potentially go see when we eventually go there?
Yeah. I mean, if you're passing by. Sorry, I made a mistake. Stefania is an adult. Sorry, Stefania is like 20. I completely blanked on that. Apologies. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you head into town, you can catch up with Yolanda. She and Darg, I mean, they've got 2 kids, Martin and Vigo. They're really lovely. They come and help out. They're cousins of ours. Yeah, they're nice. They're pretty cool.
Okay, well, I mean, at least that's a contact for us. I myself don't know anybody who is in Kresk other than the abbot, who we are planning to go and see. But having somebody that we could go and see and say, hello, we know these people, sort of thing, they might be able to help us help show us around and all of that. So thank you for that.
No, pleasure. No problems at all. I don't think there'd be any reason why they couldn't help you out.
How do you know any magic at all?
Magic? I mean, I know a little bit. Not very much. Do you wanna see?
Yeah. Yes, please. I had a sense that there might be a little bit of magic there.
Not much. He holds out his hand, and you watch as a few little coloured balls of light begin to rise from his hand and circle one another before disappearing one by one, winking out of existence.
Ah, this is very cool. Especially in these, when you're doing a perimeter sweep, it would be good to have that very handy spell.
Yeah,
I know.
Use it for signalling sometimes too. Different colours mean different things, like red for danger, blue for all clear.
I could teach you something if you'd like.
Wait,
or at least get you started on something that you could practice.
Please, yes. What sort of magic do you know?
My magic is I know a fair few things. I can form a hand out of magic. My magic is a little bit. It could be a little bit jarring the first time that you see it. It involves a little bit of blood. It is not a necessity for the spell itself. So I can teach you. Sorry, I'm going to cough.
No, that's okay. I've been warned to avoid blood magic. You're not with Baba Lysaga, are you?
Who is that?
No, okay.
No.
Okay.
My magic uses blood. It is not a necessity for the magic itself. So.
Okay.
And I'll begin doing the hand gestures to cast Mage Hand.
Nice.
And you'll watch as instead of the blood coming out of the jar, it begins to sort of form on my skin itself. But I wave my hand around and the blood sort of shakes away and a purple hand comes out instead. So you are able to cast it. I am able to cast it without the blood, but you can see the blood begins to try and coalesce around the hand. With the way that things have happened to me since I've been here, and then I dismiss the hand. It is a little bit difficult to not use blood, but if you were to practice those hand gestures and the incantations and everything, I'll give you a note of what the incantation is. You should be able to cast this magical hand yourself. Could help you with picking things from a distance or anything.
Yes, please. I love that.
Could also hold a bod for you if you are in need or anything. I don't know, but and I'll scribble down on a piece of parchment the incantation for Mage Hand. I believe it needs verbal components.
It is verbal and somatic for Mage Hand.
Yeah.
From memory.
And then I'll just go over the hand bits again. It might be easier for you to do this with two hands. I only have the one hand, so I've had to learn how to do the two-handed components one-handed. So, but, and then hand that all to him.
That's actually an interesting thing we haven't talked about yet, Josh. Which is, you would know, given your background and training, that having two hands is actually not necessary for the components. In fact, it's not even necessary if you'd had both of your hands removed. If you're able to get yourself into the right frame of mind and perform the movements, imagining that you have the hands there and moving the muscles that connect to them, you could still channel some of that magic. The magic is formed by intent. The hand movements are just essentially the conduit for that intent, and it's much easier to picture yourself and to perform that in your mind by moving around, that the muscles actually provide that feedback for you. But if you were to suffer an injury that meant that your hands were really burned, it's not going to prevent you from doing the somatic components of your spell. Whereas if you're bound, it's a bit different. You still need to be able to do some motion, but being bound is going to be a problem, or being shackled or anything like that's going to make it much harder. But yeah, if you're as long as you are able to perform the general movements and picture in your mind, you can still perform the magic. It's the intent that's much more powerful.
I think that's something that he's that Killian's definitely learned since losing his hand is he can still use the arm muscles in order to help him do it, but he has learned to do a lot of the two-handed somatic components on one hand, just in case, intent or muscle memory fail him.
Yeah, I mean, one of the wizards that you would have seen growing up was actually missing his entire left arm, was completely gone. Yet that did not stop him from casting Dimension Door, Snowball Swarm, all the spells that he needed for his wizard teaching at the, I'd say, in the University of Waterdeep. Brilliant. Let's jump back to... Actually, tell you what, can I get you to roll me a spellcasting check? So a d20 plus your spellcasting modifier. So you can roll it as if it were a spell attack, because there's no point making you roll Arcana. Your spell is not based on arcane knowledge. It's based on your connection to your patron.
That is a 14.
14. Not bad. You spend, I'm going to say, the next probably 45 minutes, hour with Adrian, taking him through the spell before you then leave him be and make your way back to bed as he continues his rounds guarding and continues practicing while he's heading out and guarding. While that's going on, let's jump back to Luther and Grinner. You watch as Jonor and Tithla get up and follow Killian and Adrian out into the darkness. Luther, you then get up and head into the darkness yourself, almost get hit by a stray, an errant crossbow bolt, and then continue your search for succor for the night. What would you be doing after that? It is not hard for you to find vermin around the winery. In particular, the barn itself. It seems like there are a lot of things stored here. Actually, I'd say the barn and the pens for the animals, the stalls. Obviously, where there's feed for horses and cows, there's also going to be rats and other vermin around that area too. Where would you head? Given that you're out in the vineyards, maybe the stalls is where you'd head.
Yeah, definitely where any of the food is kept, because that's what they'll be aiming for. And I don't want to inconvenience these people. Where they've been pretty good for us, so I'm not going to obviously snack on any of their livestock. So definitely the vermin.
Perfect. As you make your way to the stalls, you're rather surprised to see a bit of light coming from them. And as you approach, you can see Jonor and Tithla. Jonor walking up towards the stall with the cow in it. The horse is sort of nickering and whinnying a little bit as Jonor gets close. Tithla, you're sort of heading up as well, I believe, to keep a close eye. I mean, you see them walk up. Jonor, what do you do when you get up to the stall with the cow in it? You can see it's a large heifer. She is munching away at some hay in the back of her... Sorry, it wouldn't be... Yeah, it'd be hay. Straw is what they sleep on, hay is what they eat. She'd be munching away at some hay at the back of her pen. There's some straw scattered across the ground underneath her.
I'm doing the magician's trick, make them look at their right hand, and the left hand's going to do the work. So he pulls out another featherly hand, and that sort of goes out in front of the cow and moves some of the food around to get the attention, while he sneaks around behind to, as instructed, push the cow from behind. He's going exactly what Tithla said.
Luther, you watch all of this happening. Jonor, as you get behind the cow and try and push it from behind, the hardest place to try and tip a cow from. Would you like to make me, I guess this is going to be an animal handling check, and I'm also going to need an athletics check. Doesn't matter which order, because I'm going to have them occur in the order that things happen. 12 and 13.
Wow.
Jonor.
Sorry, I just want to jump in. Tithla's just sitting on the fence watching.
Cool. I thought so. Jonor, as you step up, your attempts to distract the cow with your mage hand are successful as you begin rustling away at the hay. You watch as the cow sort of and begins looking at this rustle patch. That was a pretty good move. Begins looking at this rustle patch of for a city boy, a rustle patch of hay. You then get up behind and push with all your might against the back of the cow. This surprises the cow, which immediately steps forward, and for a brief moment you think to yourself, "Ah, I have done it. The cow is tippeth." Unfortunately, it is just the cow stepping forwards. As you kind of stumble back, the cow then goes to kick you, not knowing what it is behind it that has suddenly attacked its rear. Jonor, does a 15 hit you?
It does. It clears AC easily.
Jonor, you get kicked by the cow. That's going to be 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you are kicked backwards through the stall and
Take
land.
that, cow.
I'm gonna. You will need to make me a concentration check to maintain your mage hand, unless you just let it disappear. Your choice. 7. It's gone. This is a genuine surprise as the cow kicks
Collapses to knees.
Yep. You hear the cow.
I'm going to be.
As it turns
I'm
around.
there as well. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm going to be standing there, sort of leaning up against the sort of the door or the pen or whatever. Oh, Jonor, you probably deserved that, didn't you? Why were you trying to push it?
Oh, because it's funny when they fall over. I heard they make disgruntled.
Jonor, I'm disappointed in you. I expected better. Come on, Tifler. Let's leave this delinquent alone. Let him wallow in his pity and despair.
Cow poo.
Tifler hops off and goes over to the cow to try and calm it down and give it a pat and then say thank you for the milk. And
Definitely.
You should take a page out of Tifler's book. See, she's being nice to the cow. Jonor.
Cow.
Tisk tisk.
Moo.
I cannot believe you, Tifler. You set me down that awful pathway.
See if you can guess who owns a cat. Is it the person who walks up to a cow going, here, cow? Would you
mean that cat?
That cat right there. Would you like to? It's a very cute cat. Is that the cat's room as well? The room you're in right now, is that the cat's room? Is that where it's?
But the whole house is her room.
That's fair.
She has no boundaries beyond the walls that we don't let her out.
Staff. You're her help. You're the servants.
We operate the facilities for her.
True.
Exactly. Could I get you to roll me an animal handling check? It is going to be at disadvantage on account of this animal being spooked and cows being prey animals and taking a hot minute to come down from being spooked.
That's fine. If I was using the idea of using inspiration on this, would I have to decide now, or could I see what the roll
inspiration?
is?
Inspiration's the only time you can retroactively apply it to roll, and that also applies to the inspiration gifted by channel points. So if you were one of the lovely people in the Twitch chat, and you had some channel points to spare, and you wanted to spend them on advantage or disadvantage, they stack, so players can have multiple advantage or multiple disadvantage, and they can choose whether to apply them retroactively. In this case, you have chosen to apply it proactively. That is a 4 and a 10. Tifler.
If anyone wants to dump some channel points, now would be a great time.
Now
for
be
the
a great
story.
time
Who
to
doesn't
do
love
it.
Tifler loving cows? It's cute.
It's for the narrative.
Unfortunately, Tifler, as this check has already been made, and I'm just getting from the producer. We don't have time. Unfortunately, as you go to calm down the cow, it's pretty riled up. Jonor suddenly approaching it from behind, spooking it with the sudden rattling of straw to draw its attention, then like ramming into it. It's spooked. A kick is immediately aimed at you as you try and rush in. Tifler, does a 14 hit you?
Of course not.
Okay.
I'm well practiced with cows.
Don't. Hey, well, let's not get sassy with me, mate. It might have hit you. It hit Jonor.
This is my one time to be sassy. Okay, after the oven ate me, I'm gonna take the win.
That's fair. As the cow aims back and makes a strike at you, you nimbly duck underneath the cow's leg going wide as you back out of the stall. The cow now turning around, facing all of you now front on. Turning its head, you can see its eyes are wide. It's panting a little bit as it looks and essentially tries to keep you in its vision, a bit spooked and scared, not recognizing your smell, not recognizing the sight of any of you.
It's fair.
I'm gonna get out of this thing. I just start crawling on the ground past it, out the front.
Yeah, you're already out the front because it kicked you backwards out the front of the stall, so you're just on your ass outside the stall. The horses nearby begin sort of whickering a little bit, unsure of what's going on. You can see a large bay leans its head out, sort of like looking around to see what all the excitement is. And as it notices you on the ground, Jonor, with your back against the feeding trough, it sort of like looks down at you at the feeding trough and then sort of nods its head a little bit, seeing you near the food.
Tifler would like to cast Thaumaturgy and create sort of like another cow's sound that is a calming sound to try and calm the cow down and Okay, well, we've done our damage. We're just gonna try and calm you down a little bit, and we're gonna dip.
I think I need to hear what that sound is. I need to know how calming it is. I think I need to hear it.
What the fuck?
I hate that.
I can hear the breeding call of the lesser burnt goblin. The mason cry
And that
to
cow,
attract
that
a
cow
mate.
sounds anemic.
That's Tithla doing a cow sound.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'll grab another animal handling check. I'm so tempted to apply double disadvantage on you, but that doesn't exist in D&D, so it's just gonna have to be regular disadvantage. No, do you know what? I'm not an arsehole. I'm happy to leave it as a flat roll. That was pretty
All right. Well, the
impressive.
first one was 19.
First one's a 19. Somehow this noise does calm the cow. You watch as the cow says, and then backs a little bit back in. What? We're playing a horror campaign. What has happened? What are we doing? How did we get
Wrong
here?
group for a horror campaign.
I'm just like, there's those moments as a DM when suddenly you take a hot minute and like you hear back what you're describing and what you're saying. Okay, how did I get here? Like, what sequence
Sudden
of events? Yeah.
Because we're all just big idiots.
Sudden sobering clarity just washes across me like being sprayed in the face by a man driving past the puddle on the road. Just washes across. Yeah, I mean the cow calms down. Tithla, well done.
Alright, let's go.
Great.
Thank you for the milk. I very much appreciate it.
That's just
because you just keep
doing
going.
now.
Jonor and Luther, did you guys want to do anything else? No. All happy?
Prestidigitation my jacket and go back inside.
Perfect. As the three of you make your way
I'll
back
definitely,
up.
I'll definitely help Jonor up actually as he gets tossed to the ground.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, you go.
I'll
You go.
drag Tithla as well back in because I think the moo is sort of it helped calm it down, but I think it's starting to make it a bit more on
It's
edge
problematic.
Back up with Grinner. Everyone's left you. You are just seated alone at the table. The grape-based vodka, the off-cut grape vodka bottle empty. The bottle of port, bit too sweet for your liking. Just by yourself.
I think initially Grinner's mind has been wandering back over why he left and joined military service in the first place, and to get away from his family and his upbringing. And that slowly brought him back around to thinking of brain blanking. What's the proprietor's name?
Damien Martikov
This-
in Vallaki. Oh,
No,
Davian Martikov.
Davian.
Davian.
It's brought me back around to his reaction to the cards and that deep set internal self-loathing that you really only get if you have fucked up and caused someone serious injury.
Grinner, could I get you to make me a history check?
I can do that for you.
I mean, there's a lot of memories that you've buried. You've tried very hard to bury. But talking with Luther begins to bring them back up. But with a 4...
Not that close.
It doesn't bring them up enough. I mean, you've hurt. And you have self-medicated with alcohol, with probably some harder things on occasion. Your mind and your past is a bit jumbled at times. The details are gone. There's a broad strokes, you know your rough history, but the details, the fine print is all blurry to you.
There's a lot of aspects also that have been buried as a trauma response, I think.
Absolutely.
There's quite a lot of his military career that he remembers all too clearly, and some of it's the worst parts, and a lot of that's actually buried a lot of other aspects as well. So it's a double-edged sword. But in thinking on all of that and all of that, he's probably going to go in and try and find Davian inside and try and have a conversation with him if he can track him down in the house.
That is incredibly easy to do. As soon as you step inside the house, Grinner, you can see Davian is actually cleaning up and tidying up the library, blowing out the candles and putting the books away that the boys had out before, that his two sons had been reading. As he sees you approach, he nods, leans over to the wall, and blows out the last candle, and then steps around. What do you need? Is there anything I can get you?
I don't know yet. Have you got... I want to have a word with you somewhere that we're not going to be disturbed for a minute.
He looks around at the darkened library, sighs, reaches over around the wall, pulls out a candle and goes to start lighting the candles in the library again.
No, we don't need them all. This isn't... Yeah, I think a dark room for a dark moon makes a lot of sense, to be honest. We just something to see with.
He looks back, gives you a bit of a quizzical look, and then proceeds to only light 2 of the candles, one on each opposite wall, and then gestures to one of the plush leather armchairs, and sits in the one opposite.
There's a door to be closed here, I'm assuming.
There is a door to be closed.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shut that, sit down opposite him, probably look at him for a minute. I don't know if there's any booze floating around in this room, but if there is, Grinner's probably poured 2 glasses and we'll pass one over.
Yeah, I'm going to say that there's there's maybe, let's say, like a dry red or something out. And maybe, actually, no, do you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say the boys were drinking maybe like a watered down ale, because Adrian's old enough to drink wine, but his younger brother Elvia is not. So maybe they had a bottle of ale here that they haven't quite finished. Enough that you can pour out 2 glasses and pass one over to Davian. He holds out a hand, takes the glass. As you feel his hands take the glass from you, Grinner, you can see that his hands are calloused and scarred. Much more than would be expected for a man who just works in a vineyard. When you say scarred, am I seeing sword scars? Hard to say. Do you want to make me a perception or investigation check to see if you can determine... I'd actually even say probably medicine would fit in here too. If you want to take that and make that instead. Your choice.
Well, at least medicine's a plus. Let's try that.
6. Oh, he's got some cuts and scrapes on his hands.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
No,
could have been blackberry bushes, could have been a bone saw, who knows?
Grinner will sit down opposite him and just kind of stare into what I would imagine is probably not the best ale if it's just watered down for kids. It's a hazy ale that's been a little bit watered down. It's nothing special. You know, there's not too many people that you come across in life outside of certain professions that get that sort of look in their eyes that you had at the end of that reading before. And you know, I'm not one to pry. I won't go into any particulars that aren't freely offered to me, but I thought it might do you good for me to tell you a little story.
Please.
I've been taking orders my whole life, whether that be from my father or higher ranking officers in where I have served. And a lot of that time, the orders that are given, well, you're supposed to follow them, right? That's what it comes down to. And the more you stop thinking about what those orders are, the more you just do the shit, well, the easier it gets. Yeah. And Well, let's just say there's a lot of things for me to hate about myself. There was this village once. You can do awful things when you're angry, when you're really properly angry. There was this village, right? And for whatever reason, the peasants there had taken up arms. So we, as the toughest, roughest lot, were hired to fix the problem. I don't know if you're familiar with what a haggard tree is.
He nods slowly.
Every single one of them. Man, woman, and child, and I had my part in that. There's a lot to hate when you follow orders. When the anger is so much that you lose yourself. But it doesn't do to dwell on it and let it fester. Otherwise you end up like a husk of a man like myself. You know, they call me Grinner because of this. It runs all the way around my neck, and I like to amuse myself by giving different accounts of where that fucking thing came from. But where it came from was my own hands and a rope around a tree. And the only reason I'm still here is the fucking thing broke. You can't run from this shit. Whatever dark, horrible things you have hidden away in there, mine are fucking worse and I still deal with it.
He nods slowly. Sorry to hear that. You really have been through a terrible ordeal. You are haunted by your actions. I am haunted by my inactions.
They equate to the same fucking thing at the end of the day. You either do the thing or you don't do the thing. You still hate yourself for it.
Yes, you do. You do.
I'll tell you now, there's a lot of times that I've stood by just as much as there's times that I've had a part in it. And I hate myself for both.
Have you ever let your family come to harm because of your inaction, because of your choices, because of your decisions? People you love dearly, people you swore to protect.
Swore to protect, yes. But you live the sort of life I've lived, and love doesn't come easily, mate. There's been times that I've stood back and watched other people's families die. There's time I've acted and caused other people's families to die. I've lost those I've sworn to protect. Fuck, there's even been times I've killed those I've sworn to protect. I know what you're dealing with, mate. And I'm not saying this that, oh shit, he's done worse, he's a horrible fuck of a person. I'm saying it because I'm down in the muck with you and I know what it's like. And yeah, when the ones that you swear to protect die, that cuts the deepest and it cuts a part out of you and you leave it on the ground with them.
You watch as his hands begin to shake, and as he looks up at you under his big bushy eyebrows, you see a single tear roll out, disappear into the tangled mess of his dark black and grey beard. This place, it brings out the worst in people. There's a darkness here. It infects everything. And when you think you have found a place of life, a place of light. It is just preparing you for another loss. I really... I really want to tell you more. But by doing so, I open you up to the same risks that got her killed. And as much as you might think you are now ready, you're not. Not yet. You have a journey left to make. But if you survive, you and your friends come back here after you have gone to Kresk, you are able to help us right the wrongs and drive out these corrupted druids of Yesterhill. Promise, I will tell you and your friends the full story. And you will have allies here. Allies who can help you get what you really want. And he leans in and meets your eyes. We will come too. Yeah? All of us. Get out of here.
If we could make that happen, yes.
Yeah. I can't tell you too much more, but know that your goal is also mine. Not for my sake, but for my children. There is no future for them here in Barovia. But where you are from what I've heard from your companions, the stories that you are telling, your world, your land sounds like a wonderful place. Place of light, place where children can grow up without fearing for their lives. Although what you have told me now, you might think would dissuade me, is better than here. Anywhere is better than here.
Everywhere has its darkness, mate.
Exactly. This place is darkness. The sooner you realize that, the more likely you are to survive. You lot, you're still too trusting. If this were any other place, you would have been poisoned, you would have had your kidneys cut out and eaten. You just drank wine that I gave you. That is why I cannot help you yet. You are still, all of you, so naive. You think people here are good and that you can trust them. They're not. I have lied to you this evening on more than one occasion. You can't trust people here. But I will do my best to trust you, and therefore let you be able to trust me. As one old damaged soul to another.
I appreciate that, and I understand what you mean.
He holds out a hand, his right hand, to shake your right hand.
I'll shake it and I'll look him in the eyes and I'll say, I've got to go to bed now, but don't let that anger fester. Don't let it sit in there and rot you out from the inside.
How do you deal with it?
Not very well. But I made a deal with myself, lying under that tree, gasping for air with a rope around my neck. It won't be these hands that kill me, but I wish for death every fucking day. I go to sleep and I hope that I don't wake up. But it will not be these hands that kill me.
You're in the right place. As he chuckles a little bit, not with any humour. You watch as his face sort of sets a little bit into that stone-faced mask once again. I will try and... Let's make a deal, you and I, yeah? I will try and forgive myself. You can try and forgive yourself.
I will see you in my world. And we'll see how we go with forgiveness. I don't think there's room for it in this place. I'll slap him on the shoulder and I'll walk out.
As you pull your hand away, there's a silver coin in your palm, Grinner, pressed there by Davian.
Does it look like a normal silver coin?
No, as you look down at it, it's actually not even silver. It's been plated. It's actually a very highly polished, it looks like maybe iron. And there's a symbol of a raven, wings outstretched on both sides. Show
This
this.
is something to do with that reading, isn't it?
Yeah. Show this to anyone with the last name Martikov. They will look after you if you need sanctuary. Any of the Martikovs, this is our symbol.
Alright. I'm going to unbutton whatever I need to unbutton and actually slip it into one of the very faded internal pockets on my waistcoat.
You can add Raven token to your inventory, please, Raph.
Thank you. I'm going to give him a nod and walk out the door.
Perfect. Alrighty. As you begin to make your way back out, let's jump back with the rest of the group. As Grinner makes his way out of the library, Killian, you are just making your way back, and you actually bump into Jonor, Tithla, and Luther, who are all arriving back at the manor house right around the same time, having been mucking around with the animals in the stalls down at the southern end of the vineyard. As you all get back around the same time, you see Theo sort of still seated there, enjoying a little glass of port, as he sort of leans back and looks. He goes, "So, how was your exploration of the vineyard? Was it good?"
Well, yeah, we made some new friends.
What is that strange smell?
I don't know what you mean.
Cow shit. And it's in my coat, and I'm trying to get it out.
But Jonor,
this
how did
one,
that...
Like I said, we made new
This one.
friends.
But Jonor, weren't you the one trying to push the cow?
I think, I'm just, you know what?
Also,
yeah, it was me. Yeah, it was
Jonor,
me.
are you so rattled? I have seen you clean your clothes with magic numerous times. Why are you still walking around with the cow shit?
It is a fashion
I didn't see it on
choice.
my back.
Do not pay him out for this.
I got it on the front and the right hand side, but I didn't realize I rolled and hit on the left as well. It's a messy doo doo. That's
Doo-doo.
Well,
That's
hang
a
on
t-shirt.
1 second. I'm going to walk over to Jonor and I'm just going to flick a dry bit from his ear.
Nice.
I'm going inside. I'm going to bed.
I think it's probably about then that Grinner had bust back out the doors where these guys are, and he's got a bottle of red in each hand that he's picked up from somewhere in the house.
Just raided from the kitchen.
Yeah. Who wants another fucking drink? And Grinner's
Grinner,
just
no,
gonna neck
no.
half of one.
You're a spirits only guy. No wine.
We're out of the spirits. Here, try this. It's red.
I'm good with the milk, thank you.
It's,
You know what? I'll have a drink with you. Come on.
yeah, that's what it's about. It's a fucking party now. Grinner's going to pass off one of the bottles.
It's not a party. It's just us.
Two makes a party, mate.
Okay. Party!
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm definitely going to need a constitution saving throw from Grinner. Who else is staying up extra late and drinking? and who is headed to bed?
I'm
Yep.
going to bed.
So I'm staying up and drinking, but
yeah.
I'm like sipping the wine
Okay.
whilst making sure that Grinner's only got one. He doesn't
Yeah.
have access to the other one.
Perfect. Yeah,
Tiff was shouting party as she's walking off to bed.
You hear as you step inside shouting party, you see Davian having just blown out the candles in the library for the second time. And as he looks at you, Tithla goes, My youngest, I settled him down for bed an hour ago. Why would you be going around our house screaming party at the top of your lungs? He's going to... And just as he says that, you see a door open and the young, sort of 13-year-old... oh god, what's his name again? I keep blanking on his name. Elvia steps out to rub his eyes and goes, I'm ready for the party. Let's do it. Let's party.
No, the party's in the morning. You have to go to sleep, otherwise there's no party.
But I just woke up. You woke me up with...
You were asleep. You didn't hear the whole thing. It was in the morning. We're gonna have a party.
Right after you have finished your morning chores, Elvia. Off to bed. Go. Off to bed with you.
Yeah, no.
But how am I going to get back to sleep now?
Well, I've got this real neat trick here. Come, I'll show you.
And Tithla goes to go and just tell him to shut his eyes, and then she goes to bed, pretty much.
That's your real neat trick, is shut your eyes.
Yeah, but she goes in and she goes,
All right, now you lie down and you put your head down and so you see your eyes. You try and keep them open as wide as you can, but really, really closed, and keep them but also really closed.
I don't think that's
eyes open and closed at the same time, and then you just sort of blink slowly blink.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. 1, 2,
okay,
and 3.
Yep. He falls to sleep instantly, having only just woken up. Perfect. For those of you heading to bed, you may all benefit from a long rest. For those still up drinking, Grinner,
I'm trying to look after Grinner a little bit.
That is a 10 on your con save, Grinner.
Hell yeah, it is.
You're not a messy drunk at this point. If anything, you're finding that your natural resilience to alcohol is kind of protecting you from a really bad blackout experience. However, your tumbly is a little bit unsettled. You are mixing grain and grape. Traditionally, although it is grape vodka, technically both grape. So, yeah, but the sheer volume of spirits that you have consumed now, pairing it with red wine, your stomach's not very happy. You get about halfway through the bottle before your stomach sends you a little reminder that it's not a bottomless pit and is indeed a sack with a certain volume capacity. After Luther has patted you down and your stomach has returned to a normal size once again, and you have provided some nutrients to one of the pot plants surrounding the beer garden.
While we're also doing this, I'll probably put out some rations like dried jerky and stuff.
Yeah.
Urging him to eat as he goes, just to give him at least something in his stomach that's not just, not empty.
And I think what you'll notice also, because even after spewing, Grinner's still trying to drink. I think more than ever you'll notice there is something more self-destructive than usual about Grinner's drinking this evening.
Grinner, could you roll me a D100, please? If your intent is self-destruction, we're going to see if your ancestral guardians trigger.
Interesting.
12. Yes, they do. Anything less than 50 and your ancestral guardians were triggering to come and basically put a stop to this. As you sort of finish blowing chunks and sort of return to a vertical position, I'm going to say kneeling on your hands and knees, sort of gasping for air.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
In theory, is Luther an ancestral guardian?
Luther, I mean, technically, yes. Although, because the way we've kind of reskinned your Path of the Ancestral Guardians a little bit, obviously. So it's the ghosts of the two children from the
manor.
The manor.
Durst Manor, isn't it?
The Durst Manor. That's it. Yeah, Rose and Thorn Durst. We've kind of reskinned your Path of the Ancestral Guardians a little bit. But I mean, yeah, by that logic, technically, as he looks after you right now and stops you getting too messy, I mean, technically Luther is an Ancestral Guardian. He is your great-great-uncle. He's your grunkle. I guess it does make sense that he'd be there looking after you. As you sort of finish blowing chunks and look up, Grinner, you see that ghostly form once again of Rose, the young girl, the spirit of the young girl who you managed to free her and her brother from the Durst Manor. You can see that she has tear tracks staining her face, and as she looks down at you, she shakes her head a little bit. Grinner, you can't, Grinner. What are you doing to yourself?
You didn't hear all that, did you, kid?
Of course I did.
You were supposed to. Yeah, fuck, you were supposed to hear all that.
What was I? Can I see them? Is this
No.
like an internal dialogue?
He is talking to the empty air in front of you. You've seen them on occasion. When he deliberately summons them, you see them appear in battle.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you just say then, Grinner?
She's talking to Rose heard all of it, everything. She's not supposed to. She's listening. I forgot she was there.
Where is she right now?
Well, she's in here. He's pointing to the back of his hand, but she kind of just pops out every now and then. She's just not. She turns up. She's here now.
You need a top up. Let me just top you up real quick.
You feel a rush of that energy, and Luther, you watch as fading in right in front of Grinner, almost like flickering into existence, is the spirit of Rose. She looks at you, looks down at Grinner, and then looks back at you, Luther. Luther, we can't let him do this to himself. We need to stop this. You need to stop this. Do not fetch him another drink.
Oh no, I was actually. Grinner, you just stay down in the dirt there for a sec.
Just stay down in the dirt there for a sec.
I've been here for a long time.
I give Rose a bit of a wink. I'm like, it's okay, I got this.
Yeah,
Grinner, I've got this really good ale, this alcohol that you're going to love. Doesn't really have a taste, but it hits you really hard. You won't expect it though. It takes a bit of the time to kick in, but when it does, oof, it's crazy. You want some?
Yeah, I'd say that's. Yeah.
Go on then, have some. I give him water.
Nice.
I'm gonna chug.
This won't get you now, but oh my god, it just absolutely hammers you later.
You're gonna see Avandra, you lucky son of a bitch.
I'm gonna chug it all and probably like roll over onto my back in the dirt, and just as he starts to pass out, he'll probably mumble, "I wonder if it's tonight that I'll stop breathing," and that'll be it.
I'm gonna turn him on his side.
It's probably a good idea. Rose doesn't immediately fade away, even though Grinner is unconscious. She turns towards you, Luther, and you watch as she kind of cocks her head and goes, "He hasn't figured it out yet, your connection, but I have."
Family, hey? They get you in trouble, but you're always there for them. As I'm like turning him on his side, making sure he doesn't vomit and his airways are not obstructed.
Do you want to know something really crazy?
Well, it's already pretty crazy that I'm talking to a ghost, but go on.
My mum's sister. She left when I was very young. Travelled to Oxenford a long time ago. I think we might be family too, Luther. Thorn and I, that connection we have to Grinner, it's through blood. You have that blood as well. You've always been quicker to see us, always quicker to sense us. I think that's why.
Now that is peculiar. That is interesting. What was your last name again?
Durst. But that's my father's name.
What's your mother's name?
I've got to quickly pull it open. Bear with me 2 seconds.
Because prepared DM, you then actually have to check the reference.
I have to make sure I've got the correct information. My mother's name was Kratz. Von Kratz.
That is peculiar because, well, my little dear, that is my last name too.
Grinner's in a bad way, Luther. He's blaming himself for things that he did when he was a soldier, things when he was following orders. But it's getting worse, he's not getting better. I don't know what to do.
That's tough.
I think you need to tell him. He's alone. He's lost.
Well, tell him that we're related, and I point to us two with a cheeky grin on my face.
Yeah. And tell him that all of us, all 4 of us, me, Thorn, you, and Grinner. And look, I think having a family will help him. Someone to watch out for him. Someone he can watch out for. I don't think Grinner does very well being taken care of, but I think if we can give him someone to take care of, who's looking out for him, I think that might help. I mean, Thorn and I will keep looking out for him, of course. Whenever he needs us, we can be there. I think he needs to know he's untethered. He's not got anything tying him. So I think he's just going to drift away.
You speak sense. I can see that. How to tell him? I'll try and come to that. It's going to be a bit of a shock.
I think we should do it together. I think all of us, you, me, and Thorn. I think he'll take it better from us, initially, and then that'll help.
So, with this appearing as you are now, you're obviously tethered to Grinner. Not tethered per se, but...
No, tethered's the right word.
Okay.
We're bound to him. I mean, he helped free my brother and I, but... I mean, we're sticking around to look after him, to protect him. We're sort of like... I guess, like... haunting him? I don't know how to describe it. I guess that's the best way to describe it.
In a way.
I don't know what this is. This is... something...
Wait, is the only reason you're even around is because... me being around makes the connection a little bit stronger? That's even though while he's going unconscious, you're still here?
I think that helps, but I've been practicing. When he sleeps, I try to... Because obviously, like, Thorn and I don't need to sleep, we're just ghosts. Thorn's not quite as good as I am yet at manifesting, but I've been practicing, trying to keep watch when you guys are asleep and try and keep a lookout.
So, when Thorn can manifest himself...
Only when Grinner helps him. He can't do it by himself. Okay. Not yet, anyway. I mean, I'll try and get him good at it. I'll try and get him to practice, but at the moment, it's just me.
I guess the question to ask is, when should we tell him?
Soon, before we end up in another scrape. Luther, he doesn't care if he lives or dies. His preference is, in fact, not to survive combat.
I have seen that. It troubles me greatly, but been trying my best. Wouldn't mind some help, though. So it'd be nice. I know the connection he has with you both.
I'm here to help, and Thorn is too. Definitely. Anything we can. We're a family. I mean, Thorn and I didn't have much luck with our family. But maybe it's the family you choose. Maybe that's the important
one. That's when like I'll get flashbacks of the party members as well. Like, you know, Jonor will go through my mind, Tifla, Killian now, and obviously Theodore, like they'll all not Thea. They'll go all through my mind as well. Like, I'm like, he definitely has family. He's got blood, you know, like us, but he doesn't realize it probably right now, but he also has a family. The ones he's traveling with right now, so I think we need to have a chat with him, almost like an intervention. We need to sit him down.
We're gonna have to be careful how we do that. That's not a good idea. Not everyone. I think let's keep it small at first, and then,
All right. Let's not overload him, I guess.
He's a runner, Luther. If it looks like we're trying to trap him, he'll fight his way out of the cage. It's got to be his choice. We just need to make sure he knows the options. I don't think he knows them. I think he thinks there's no options. I think he thinks he's got nothing. We just need to show him that he does, and that he can make different choices, and those choices are the important ones, not the ones, not his past. It's his future that's the important thing. What he's going to do. That's all. That's all I care about. That's all Thorn cares about. We just need to make sure he knows that.
Well, hopefully, maybe in Crest we can talk to him about it. Let Thorn gather his strength so he can also manifest. Because you two there, I think that would be great. You'll love that.
I've been listening. You guys are going to get Tithla some help with the abbot, right?
That's the plan.
Do you reckon this abbot might be able to help Grinner? I mean, I know it's not his body that's damaged, but...
I'm not sure how much the priest could heal his mind. His mental scars run deep. Deeper than he probably even knows.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I thought it was worth asking.
That's alright, we got this. Give her a week.
This. We can do this. It's going to be okay.
No, I have a... okay. We shall help him. Don't worry about that. We got this, like I said. I do have an interesting question, though. If we're related, am I your uncle or are you my aunt? Where do we fall in that line?
I mean, we've been ghosts for a long time, Luther, a really long time. I mean, I think I might be older than you. And she gives a bit of a chuckle as she says that.
Oh, well,
she looks like 14. She laughs.
Yeah, I know.
I think
lovely to meet you, Aunt Rose.
Oh, that. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Oh no, what's better? I was gonna say no. There's nothing better. Just call me Rose. Hey, it's already weird enough.
Perfect. Well, I'm gonna drag this one off. Put him somewhere comfortable inside.
Yeah. Maybe with a bucket underneath.
Well, at least he had that big swig of water, so...
Yeah, true. Okay. I'll keep an eye on him overnight. If anything happens, I'll see if I can try and contact you again.
Yeah, no, perfect. Easy.
Okay.
And then I'm going to start, dragging him in.
Perfect.
Oh, do you want to... Oh, no, you can't. You're a ghost. You can't help.
She reaches down and passes her hand through Grinner's legs.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're gonna have to do this one by yourself.
I mean,
I can't physically interact unless he's channeling us, and then even then our actions are pretty limited. There's not much we can really do. It's got to be Grinner who brings us here and gives us power. I mean, he kind of shares his vitality, and that's how we're able to manifest.
All right. Well, this might be a bit rough, buddy, but I just start dragging him along the ground.
He's totally out of it. He's gone.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, as the two of you head to bed, you may both benefit from a long rest.
Hell yeah.
And I think...
No more exhaustion.
No more exhaustion. And
As I will go to bed, I'll probably be around Grinner and I'll say, good night, Rose and Thorn.
There's no reply, unfortunately.
That's fine. But I know that they're listening, so that's all that matters. Now that I have more of a connection with them.
Yeah. Perfect. And I think... Oh yeah, Jonor is rolling his new portent rolls, 11 and 15.
Ooh, nice.
Jonor,
all that 15's not bad.
I was going to wrap up the session there, but there is a dream that you do have, and I reckon that's the cliffhanger I want to end on.
Oh, let's do it.
Jonor,
Yeah.
as your head hits the pillow and you fall into the embrace of sleep, At first, you don't really have any memories of your dreams at all, just images, jumbled and muddled, some noises. And then suddenly you find yourself coming back into lucidity, consciousness returning to you, but you're still asleep. You stand in the ruins of an old village, a swamp stretching out on all sides around you. Standing above the ruin of a hall is a raven. Glossy black feathers, bright brown eyes, intelligence far beyond that of a normal raven reflected in them as it looks at you, cocks its head, almost seems to look you up and down. And then as it flaps towards you, you feel yourself compelled to hold your arm out. And as you do, the raven lands, claws digging into your skin on your forearm. Not enough to hurt, but enough that you can feel the pressure. Feels real. The raven looks at you, cocking its head, and caws this rah, as it then looks around and then looks back at you.
Have we met, little bird?
Bird caws again and chatters its beak, this rah, as if almost like a little chattering noise with its beak. Cocks its head again.
I reach for my deck in the back pocket. Do I feel the deck of cards there?
You do. As you reach around to grab the deck, you watch as the raven suddenly cocks its head and looks at something behind you, and then with a cry and a squawk, takes flight. As it rises up over the house, the ruined town hall, you see this flash of dark purple energy shoot from behind you, spear through the raven. As it does so, the sky fades into this bright flash of red light, and suddenly the raven's falling from the sky towards the swamp below. Only it's not a raven. A woman. Long, dark, black hair braided back. Layered clothing, a long dress with these silvers, whites, and grey coloration, framed in black. Plummets from the sky, her eyes wide, her mouth open in a soundless scream, a hole where her chest used to be. And as she smashes into the swamp water, you see another figure rushing towards her. Davian. And as he cradles her in his arms, you hear cackling laughter from behind you. This sound of someone laughing. Mirth and venom mixed together. What do you do?
At this point, I turn to get a look at whoever that cackle was, whoever's cackling, and I would run towards the dropped raven lady.
As you turn to have a quick peek behind you, you see an old woman, spindly, skin hanging off her bones, very sallow, sunken face with a crooked nose, dark purple eyes, white hair braided back into a bun. You should be careful what you dream. Your dreams are open to me, seer. Not practiced enough yet. Not nearly. And as you go to run, you find the water pulling you closer to her, the ground beneath swirling and rushing. Jonor, I'm going to need you to make me a spellcasting check. Could you please roll a d20 and add your spellcasting modifier, as if you were making a spell attack? That is a natural one.
How's that portent from last session? Did that 20...
That's true. You do still... Because you've still got... Because technically you haven't had your long rest yet, so those portents are for the next long rest. Because you do still have a portent, don't you?
I have two. I sunk the 20 in the dream in the Halloween. Was that real or not?
That was... Oh, Jonor, I can't answer this. This is a dick move to make me answer that question.
Okay.
Jonor.
I'll check what the...
Do you have any inspiration?
Do you want to... If you take the 7, that's still a 14. Because your portent roll was a 20 and a 7. If you took the 7, that's still not a bad roll.
I think this makes sense to use the inspiration from the Halloween session.
Yeah, it probably will help.
I think that's a good call.
That one out. Round 2.
Natural
Hey,
20.
here we go.
Holy shit. Make sure if you're watching on Twitch, you make sure to spam those new emojis. We've got a natural 1 and a natural 20. Those new emotes. Jonor, this isn't real. This is your dream. You're in control. And as you feel that sudden moment of awakening, there's this almost like a sound of a thread snapping. A thread that was tying you to her. A thread reaching back down towards her hand, where you can see a small loom bound in her claw-like fingers that she was tying threads tighter and tighter. But as you realize this isn't real, you feel your power flow through you. There's a moment where you feel yourself being lost to this, but you know your strength. And as you turn towards her, that sudden realization that this isn't real, that thread snaps and you feel this sudden tie breaking. Your future is your
hag.
own. Yeah.
I think I know you're the one I actually am here for, to try to figure out myself. I think you're the perfect subject for me to meet in the future. I think you should be concerned when we meet.
Could you make me an intimidation check with advantage, please, Jonor?
Jonor. Growing up.
Natural
Whoa,
20!
dude.
Jonor! Jonor, the landscape begins falling away underneath you. You feel power, raw power flow through you, more than you've ever channeled before, burning through your veins as around you, light begins to spin and you see images begin to form, the future unfolding in front of you, time opening up, a river with many estuaries branching off from this main pathway, all the choices that could be made. And as you see down this pathway, you suddenly see a path directly leading to this woman's demise. And she sees it too, as clear as day. A path where you break her, destroy her utterly. And you have the power to make that reality. You have the power to shape this unlikely scenario into a certainty. She cries, this strangled sound deep within her, and you feel that presence flee as she pulls away, screaming in fear, trying to get away from you. But she can't. You've already seen this. You know how this story ends. There is no escape. Not from you. You shape the future. And then with a sudden, you awaken in your bed. The sheets wrapped around you, that feeling of the power within you fading. And as it does so, Jonor, you see that light fading. Real. Your skin glowing softly, fading back into its normal skin tones as you feel that power suddenly wane. Your dreams for the rest of the night are your own. No presence dare come near you again. That is where we are going to wrap up for tonight. Holy shit,
yeah.
Tom. Holy shit.
That's a good time for us to deliver.
Oh my god. I mean, yeah.
Damn, dude.
That's incredible.
Sounds like he knows where he's going.
Jonor, your power grows. It's incredible. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for this session of Curse of Strahd. If you're watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We're going to go and raid one of our lovely friends of the channel. In fact, tonight we're going to go raid Corsair's Cove. Now, they're not playing D&D, but they are playing Baldur's Gate 3, which is D&D adjacent, I would argue. So we will go raid Corsair's Cove and say hi to Josh the Pirate. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure if you haven't already to hit that subscribe button. We only need another 15 bloody legends to prove their legendary status by hitting that subscribe button. And we will have hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. So please, if you can hit that button, that would be amazing. If you're listening to this on the podcast or on YouTube or on Twitch, when we do hit the 1,000 subscribers mark, we will be offered the chance to open up channel memberships. In fact, we've been given a little bit early access to channel memberships already. But what I want from you is your recommendations on what would be worth a channel membership to the YouTube channel. What kind of extra content? extra sessions, behind the scenes stuff, maybe some bestiaries and some fauna and flora style videos where I draw the fauna and flora of fauna and flora of Nostea and talk through it and talk through the homebrew world. Maybe some Let's Plays of games. I know a lot of you really enjoyed The Wandering Village. I'm happy to do more of those. So, yeah, keep me posted. I'd love to get your suggestions. Yeah, tell me.
You could do that. You could do some like party games and stuff. Like we played that game on the phone.
Jackbox. Yeah, and Akron, the VR one where I'm in VR as the tree and all of you are squirrels. That is a lot of fun. That game.
It is a lot.
That could actually be really good with them.
That is a Christmas special. That'd be really fun. I think.
And they could be hot tub streams as well.
But I'm in VR. And am I in a hot tub in VR?
Fine.
You know what?
The hot tub stream isn't for you.
You know what? Let's make this hot tub stream even better, and you have Maisie Peters in the background.
So thank you for your suggestions. It's going to be great. Thanks for that. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. But from all of us, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again really soon. Until then, goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.